Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. I know that you're just as disgusted as I am, ladies and gentlemen, because that game was terrible. It was excruciating to watch. It was the worst defensive performance that we've had all season long. Backdoor after backdoor. Open three after open three. That was a terrible play of defense. Terrible display of defense, should I say. And I'm just disgusted at this game. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I'm disgusted at this game. I know Tom Thibodeau is disgusted at this game. We look like fools out there on the floor, running all over the place. Can't stop anybody from scoring. A terrible display of basketball by the New York Knicks. Even on the offensive side. Terrible display of basketball. We let Lauri Markkanen go for 30 points in 3 quarters. He ended up with 30 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Zach LaVine, he had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Had 2 guys. Kobe White had 13. Thaddeus Young had 13. Patrick Williams, rookie, power forward / small forward, he had 10 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. They had 30 assists on us tonight. 30 assists. They shot 32% from the three-point line. They shot 47% from the field altogether. Why so high? Because they had shot after shot after shot at the baskets. At the basket, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking easy alley-oop plays, backdoor cuts to the basket, secondary break opportunities. The Knicks were terrible at getting the 50-50 balls. We didn't decide to really start trying to play aggressive defense until the 4th quarter. It was too late because they was already hot. They were already in rhythm. That's just a terrible display of basketball by the Knicks. I don't care if they traveled last night. I don't care what that was. I can understand if you're tired, right? Which, they should be okay. But the things that were happening in the game tonight, can't let that happen. I'm telling you. I felt like just punching those guys dead in the middle of the chest. I was mad. Terrible display of basketball, man. If you look at the Knicks, what they did tonight in the box score. Reggie Bullock, he didn't give us much. He gave us 4 points and 2 rebounds. He wasn't in the game towards the end. It was Alec Burks. He had 18 points. Didn't really do nothing on the board. He had 18 points and 1 rebound. Julius Randle had 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, but he was getting torched by Lauri Markkanen all night long. And anyone who was watching the game preview, what you've seen tonight is the reason why Guillermo and I was talking about a zone, playing a zone. Because what you've seen tonight are things that happen to the Knicks frequently. They've been happening frequently this season. Backdoor cuts, open threes, guys penetrating down the middle of the lane. Don't have to be every possession, but every once in a while. Mitchell Robinson had 9 points, 8 rebounds. I was a little bit disappointed that Mitch wasn't in the 4th quarter because I felt like Nerlens Noel, although he had 5 blocked shots, I felt like he was missing some rotations defensively. I didn't think he was rebounding the ball well enough. He grabbed some rebounds. I thought Mitch rebounded better. Mitch had 8 rebounds in 20 minutes. Alec Burks had 18 points. I said that already. Emmanuel quickly had 16 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. That's about it, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks shot 20% from 3, 42.5% from the field. Just wasn't a good game overall for the New York Knicks. And, frustrated, ladies and gentlemen. I'm frustrated right now because I don't like, if I'm going to lose, I could take a loss, but not like this. Not looking this bad out there on the floor. Man, it's a frustrating loss for me. Even if we would have won that game, I'd have been frustrated coming into the show because I thought the entire thing was frustrating. what I'm saying? Frustrating. It's just frustrating. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Divine, man, talk to me about the game, man. Yeah, and I see Ayo Digital. Ayo Digital, I see you in the chat. Okay, we got another game Wednesday. Save it for Wednesday, Digital.
Yo, peace to the panel, man. Salute to the chat, everybody on the MBK network, man. I'm frustrated just like you, Sim, and I'm like, my temperature boiling. But I'm going to sum it up in a few words. Like you said, our defense was terrible. But much as I praise our leaders, RJ and Randall, I got to give it to them tonight, man. They ain't take us home. And RJ should have been more aggressive like he did in the third quarter. He scored 10 points, then he faded. So, I mean, we got to praise them when they do good. We also got to give them they just do when they do bad, too. You know what I mean? So I just want to say our leaders in that final 3, 5, 6, whatever minutes, they should have came through for us a little more. Randall had turnover, and RJ didn't hit no shots. That pretty much was the end of the game. So
Randall had 5 turnovers tonight. 5 turnovers.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough.
5 turnovers tonight. It was just... And not only was the game making me frustrated, but then my league pass kept messing up. You know what I'm saying? The league pass kept messing up every couple minutes. For whatever reason, it would have to reload. I was like, what the heck? And then the sound was terrible from the Chicago Bulls standpoint. You know what I'm saying? The whole experience watching the game was just frustrating. I was mad. Kev?
I want to put a size 11 in everybody's rear end tonight. I got nothing to praise these guys about. You can't go toe to toe with a top contender of a championship and then come out the way you did tonight. I mean, they had to climb all night. And then when they did get the lead, they give it right back. I mean, it was. I'm disgusted tonight. I'm really, really disgusted tonight with these guys, man. Be backdoor, leaving guys open. I mean, I'm just. Oh man, I had to fight with my wife before before coming on here, man. So I'm upset. So. But other than that,
it's just a frustrating game, man. Just a terrible game. I just want to throw this one out the window, but they got to look at it. They got to look at it, so they can figure out what they're going to do the next game. But
I'm just disgusted, man. I'm just disgusted. Disgusted.
Yeah.
And I told you about Marcusson too. I told you in the pregame. I said Marcusson was scared me, and what did he get? He had 31 points tonight.
Yeah, he had 30. I mean, he didn't do nothing special, but shoot wide open threes. He was in basketball practice. All his threes wide open. He had maybe 2 drives to the basket that were contested. Everything else were wide open threes. In the fourth quarter, when they stopped helping off of him, he didn't get them shots. He didn't score in the fourth quarter.
Why couldn't they have done that in the first or the second quarter?
It is Tom Thibodeau's scheme. I'm telling you, Tom Thibodeau's scheme is to have that big man help the guard, and then the ball get. And I'm gonna break it down tomorrow on the shoot around so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Tom Thibodeau's scheme is to have the big man help the guard, right? And then that weak side guy's got to help out. And you've seen it happen once or twice in the second half. That weak side guy has to help out. When that weak side guy doesn't help out, whoever the opposing guard is, they flip it right over top of Peyton's head to that shooter. Boom, they step out there and they knock it down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's got to get a different scheme then. He's got to get a different scheme or something.
That's his scheme. That's his scheme. They changed it up. They switched it up a little bit in the second half. They started to switch a little bit more. And even though the guard was on Lauri Markkanen doesn't go and post up that much. He kind of stays out on the perimeter. So then the guard could stay up in Lauri Markkanen. So that way there was always somebody on Lauri Markkanen. You know what I mean? But the thing is, they let him get hot. He can shoot. They let him get hot. After that, once you let somebody get hot, now you're in trouble. Tony?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I needed that. I needed that, Tone.
I couldn't say both teams played hard, so.
Yo,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was just a terrible game, man.
I think this is a game where Tibbs actually got outcoached.
You know, it's interesting, fellas, when in the fourth quarter, when they put Randle on Thaddeus Young and put Noel on Marketing couldn't shoot over Noel. I don't think people peeped that. They had switched because they was going small with. He had put Randle on Thaddeus Young, and when he put Noel on Martin couldn't shoot over that boy for a few minutes. And I liked it when he did that. Other than that, everything else was trash.
I mean, the coaching. I believe he got. I agree. He definitely got out coached. You know what I'm saying? He got out coached today, big time. Prince.
I'm gonna start it off with Zach LaVine. That's all I can say, man. We got beat by a closer tonight. That dude is a supreme closer. Horrible defense, much like Sim talked about. But again, I believe LaVine just outsmarted us. A lot of people, even Sim said, but I know Sim watched it tonight. When he watch it again and tomorrow, he's like, all right, Prince, I see what you were saying. Because LaVine ran point almost 70% of that game. And we jumped him after, he came across the line. And when they swung the ball, our rotations were horrible. So with that and the fact that we had a chance to win this game, I mean, that's just a testament to, the Knicks and, the type of defense we do play. We had a chance to win this game. It does suck that, again, we not truly setting ourselves above, and again, a lot of us figured we might go 1-1 in this. But, that this next game, I would say to me, it's a must win. Because, again, you don't want to go into Portland, or bring Portland home and have to face that. Then we got the Miami Heat 2 games back-to-back. So, again, I'm not really trying to look at that schedule with going into those couple games with all of these losses. So we have to stop the bleeding somewhere. To me, I'm going to start off, from the jump and blame it on, Austin Rivers. I just believe his play right now is hurting the team offensively, and I think defensively too. I believe he's just on a lot of those rotations, he's the guy who's always throwing his hands up, but most of the time it's his man. Some of those times he was cooking.
He didn't play enough to get blamed.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think you can blame Austin Rivers because
I'm just talking junk. I'm just talking.
Okay.
I'm just saying. When I say if I'm gonna blame anybody, because when we blame the game on was horrible defense, and the fact that again our closers didn't close, much like Divine said, and again. Zach LaVine, even though he didn't, have 40 points on us tonight, but watch out for the next game. He, like I said, he still contributed and he closed the game out when they needed those shots, like Divine said, and that stretch, that 2-point pull-up, he pulled up and knocked down, and then right out to timeout, that big three, it was, there was nothing we could do. Even with Burks hitting that three in the corner, I still didn't feel like we had enough fight to pull that out.
Yeah. I blame Kevin Knox.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I blame Frank too, because if Frank would have got the water out there, they probably would have won.
but like talking about Austin Rivers, he only played 15 minutes tonight, but I do feel like I'm not feeling like he's fitting into the second lineup well, in my opinion.
Get him out of here.
I feel like between Austin Rivers, Emmanuel Quickley, and Alec Burks, they're all guys that are going to dribble the basketball. And I think that we need a little bit more ball movement in that second unit. Right now, Quickley is the guy. He's the engine in that second unit. Like Die Hard Nick said, you don't need 2 engines in the second unit. You know what I mean? You only need one. Let Quickley be the engine. He's got the ball in his hands, and then have shooters that can spread the floor for him, right? Austin Rivers, he can shoot, but he usually shoots off the dribble. He shoots off the bounce. You know what I'm saying? He's not really a spot-up shooter, right? Kevin Knox is more of a spot-up shooter than Austin Rivers. I think that I think they should replace Austin Rivers with Kevin Knox in that second lineup. At least give it a try, because I just feel like it's too much. It's too ball heavy. It's too ball heavy in that second lineup. Not enough ball movement. You know what I mean?
If you do that, Sam, if you do that, when does Rivers play?
Just like Kevin Knox didn't play.
Yeah, right. Either I think he needs to sit. I said that when he came back from his injury. I like I said, we can go back and check the receipts. I felt like Austin Rivers has thrown off the team flow, because again, he's a spark plug, but we got, like Sib said, he's the engine, but again, we already got an engine, so there's no reason to have two engines. So again, if he's not going to play in Burks minutes where he's like that spark plug in the first unit, I don't believe he's a second unit, type of spark plug. I believe you should probably switch him and Burks back. I think, Sim, you said that earlier, put Burks back into that 6-man role, letting him be like one of those first people off the bench, rather than Obi, who's been a lot of the 6-man coming off the bench. You put Burks back there, and then you put Austin there, and let Burks orchestrate and shoot off what Quickly does. Now you got two shooters. You got Quickly, and when we seen that lineup, they thrived. I mean, I know they defense wasn't as good, but offensively, that was one of our best runs was Quickly, Knox, Burks. And Obi and those guys. I really like that lineup.
If Knox in the slump, Rivers ain't doing it. Now it's time to give Frank a shot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, or Frank. Yeah, somebody got to. The rotation has to rotate.
Frank is not one of them guys who going to shoot the ball as soon as he get it. They got to get that boy a shot now. We need his defense and his little 3-point spot. He's not going to take the offense and run it in the. He gonna listen. I throw the ball to you. I get it to you. If I'm open, I'm gonna shoot 3. But on the other end, he played defense better than Knox and Austin Rivers.
Yeah, I think 100%.
They need to put that boy in there now, because you know what, we're gonna lose more games without that defense. Like you said, Sam, we lost on the defense, but it's something. Frank is a real glue guy, man. It seems like he know how to control that game with the defense play that he has. I hope he get in there sooner or later, though.
And Devon, here's the other thing with that. What you just said, he said he was going to use Frank in situational circumstances. Isn't this a situational circumstance?
I don't think Frank is ready. I don't think Frank is fully ready.
I got you. Yeah,
like physically, Kevin,
I don't think he's ready.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do not want to rush Frank back.
Exactly.
Because I'm hoping when he comes back, that injury bug thing is gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? He can play.
I agree. Yeah, you're right.
I think he's still, you see him in warm-ups. He's got the brace on. I know Tom Thibodeau was talking about, because he was off for 3-4 weeks or whatever, talk about him coming back and getting his endurance back and those things. You don't get a lot of practice time. I don't think he's ready.
Okay.
That's just my thought. I don't know. I just don't think he's ready to come back and see action on the floor yet. But I do think, though, that Rivers in that second unit, I'm not seeing what the purpose. He's had 2 good games. So for maybe 3 good games, maybe 3 good games.
No, two. If you think about it, the Utah, and then and the one he went crazy for, the 25 points.
Yeah, I thought there was maybe one more game.
I think he had about 3 of them, right?
Yeah, I think he had one more game where he scored well, 15, 16 points or something like that.
In the fourth quarter or something.
Yeah, but I think that when Knox was playing well, a lot of times it was when there was only one guy, Quickly or Austin Rivers, out there, not both of them. That's when I think Knox played well, and it is unfortunate that you need special circumstances to play well, right? Yeah, but it just kind of goes into how a lineup works, though, as well, right? Right now, Kevin Knox is being used as a spot-up shooter. If you have someone who can get in the lane a little bit, draw the defense, get you a nice clean shot, maybe you can knock it down. I think that he could work better in that lineup than Austin Rivers right now. We had one good play to Obi, right? Austin Rivers threw that alley-oop to Obi. Other than that, we're not getting much from Obi Toppin. I don't think we can expect much from Obi Toppin anytime soon. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So, I don't know if we can expect to get anything there. Go ahead, Tony.
I just wanted to point out my lone highlight of the night was that RJ dunk. That was nice. Surprise, and I would love to see more of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too as well. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Tonight was pretty disheartening, and I'm hoping that they find some fire and they can come back in game 2 and shut up Ayo Digital. Shut Ayo Digital's mouth.
No, he ain't gonna stop talking till he become a Knicks fan once we make that trade.
He already is a Knicks fan. He's already is a Knicks fan. That's why he's in the Knicks chat.
Right.
Gotta be a Knicks fan. I really like the way the Bulls were moving the basketball, though, man. They moving that thing, swinging that thing. A lot of backdoor cuts. And what I'm afraid of, I think Tony brought this up when we did the halftime show with Die Hard. What if the Chicago Bulls just figured out our defense and how to beat it? Because we've seen games where we've given up the back door. We've seen games where we've given up open threes, but never have we seen a game where it happened, where both of them happened at the same time at this level. Tonight, it was every other play, a backdoor cut, somebody wide open at the basket, a wide open three. There was a stretch in the second half where the Knicks really did lock down, but for the most part, it was like that the entire game. And look, when teams see that and they start to figure out some things, we could be in trouble defensively. When they start really figuring out, these guys don't know how to defend the back door because they're positioned wrong. And that's all it's about is positioning. You let the guy, you're standing here, and you let the guy sneak behind you because you didn't step back a foot so that you can see your man and you can see the ball. That simple. But we keep getting beat on it because we're ball watching and we're not seeing our man and the ball at the same time.
Which is so elementary, Sim. That's sorry to cut you off, man. That is so elementary. That is, like you said, to see man you ball like that. Some people don't have good coaches like that. So, but again, that should be one of the first things you teach is, you know what I'm saying, is the guns and man you ball, regardless of what's going on, unless you play in a different defense where your coach telling you to face up on a player, you should never be ball watching or not watching the ball and not watching your man at the same time.
But isn't that the job of the coach to stress that with the in film?
You ain't see how angry Tom Thibodeau was.
Right. That's just idiotic. That's just they're just being idiots. Like that. That's what that is. That's just like slow-footed. Like, and again, like Sim said, that the trip from New York to Chicago ain't that long. Like you talking about an hour in the jet. Like them dudes ain't jet lag. B. Like that's not like you can't use that. Like no,
they did play yesterday as well.
They played yesterday. Well,
Tone, and if that's the case, like you alluded to earlier, and I'm pretty sure, Sim, we're gonna get to that later on today or probably tomorrow in shoot around. But our boy got out coached tonight. Like I'm pretty sure, like he got out coached tonight because if you knew you had a back-to-back, why would, even though that that LA game we kind of needed, but again, the way you played them boys in the LA game and then tonight, if we were tired, if we were lethargic.
I don't think we were tired tonight, man. I
don't think so either. We can't use that. I think
excuse. RJ didn't do his normal thing. But check out the second unit defense. Rivers, Burke, and Toppin. That's your defense. You know what I'm saying? Them your defense. Them ain't no defense ball players. Much as we hate Frank, but Toppin right now, Burke ain't no defense ball. Rivers not a defense, and quickly just learning how to play the NBA. So our defense in the second unit, that's why I always wondered why we should maybe switch something up. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying this is right or wrong.
No, but you're right, Devon.
And that defense in the second unit can't guard nobody.
You're right.
Toppin had a short leash today.
Yeah, right.
Well,
and that's why they sent him out.
Yeah. And you seen him get pulled out and go to the bench.
Yep, he deserved it.
Now, let me ask you about that. You seen the short leash. We started to see Kevin Knox's leash get shorter and shorter and shorter till now he's buried on the bench. Are you afraid that that'll happen to Toppin?
No.
I think because of the
See, now that's unfair though. See, now that's where I'm gonna get upset at because again, now you being unfair.
I'm just saying.
Like one at a time.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm just saying across the board. Now you being unfair. That's that Thibodeau crap. Like now you treating the vets differently than you treating the kids, and now you showing Knox. All right, bro, we don't give two flying F's about you. You might as well really put him and Frank on the block if that's the case. If you not gonna pull Obi and like the mind I said earlier, I think before the pregame, Frank may need to get some of these minutes, man. Like this rotation may need to rotate.
That's where argument, man.
But see, that's where I disagree.
It's the whole.
That's why I disagree, though, right? Because Emmanuel quickly makes mistakes and he stays out there on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Hold up. Exactly what Tony just said. He produces. His production, his level of production outweighs what he does wrong. If it's defensively, if it's whatever it is, it outweighs it. In my opinion, any player, your level of positive production has to outweigh your level of negative production.
Absolutely.
Basketball is a game of mistakes. Think about it. If you shoot 50%, if you shoot 47% from the field, that's good. 47%. Imagine if you brought home a test to your mother that had a 47% on it. What the hell happens to you?
Sam, right? You don't even want to know, bro.
Exactly. So, but in the NBA, 47% from the field is good. Mm-hmm. It's a game of mistakes. You're going to make mistakes the entire game. The team that wins makes less mistakes. True. Right? So when you're out there on the floor, you got to have more positive production than negative production.
Is not happy with that three he took.
More positive production than negative production. And I don't care if you're a vet or a rookie.
So, and that's what I'm saying, Sim. So again, if his production is not like you said, his 8-minute stints, 9-minute stints, like quickly, like Tone had alluded to a couple shows ago, when quickly get in the game, he's been in the game 10 minutes, he got 10 points. So again, like you said, when you producing like that, quickly turn the ball over. Tom not worried, he not gonna pull his card or he get beat. He gonna cuss him out, but he not gonna pull him. Where like Obi, okay, hey bro, you ain't contributing and you out here messing up. Yeah, you gotta sit. Right. That's where I'm like, no, that's unfair if you say, oh no, he was the 8th pick. We gotta let him play. Okay. He's Obi. But like, that's
why I was saying it's the wrong argument because you brought up Knox in that scenario, and in this case, he is gonna do that with Toppin. Mm-hmm. But I think he's gonna do that with Toppin because he's young. Where a guy like Austin Rivers is his leash hasn't been shortened to the extent that I think it should be. I think he's been more of a liability. Now, granted, he's also had more productive games, those 3 games, than Toppin has had thus far. But I feel like, Toppin's leash is shortening. We can see that.
Mm-hmm. It's shortening.
The room for error is not there. I want to see the same thing with Rivers. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I want to see the same thing with Rivers as well. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's earned maybe a little bit more leeway because he's been in the league. He's played well on a few games. But I want to see the same. I want to see the same type of leash. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it does concern me that. I don't want to say it concerns me. Obviously, everyone knows I've got my eyes open about Toppin, and I am a little bit concerned. I don't feel like they're using him the right way. The best way that suits his athletic ability. But if he starts to get a leash and his leash gets shorter and shorter and shorter, next thing you know, he's buried like Kevin Knox.
It's a problem.
Yeah, Emmanuel quickly right now is taking a lot of heat off of Obi Toppin and the Knicks. Mm-hmm. Not just Obi. I don't want to just say Obi. I'm saying Obi, just to describe the entire situation. Emmanuel quickly is taking a lot of heat away from that situation right now because Emmanuel quickly is looking like he could have been a top 5 pick. Right? So he's taking away a lot of heat.
He's going to be in the conversation of Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Emmanuel quickly, oh boy.
The Knicks
That's all I got to say. Oh,
You're right,
boy.
different record.
I mean, you're right. They'd have a different record, but then the whole thing with Obi and the way that they're using him and his production.
Magnifying glass on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of Emmanuel Quickly, that magnifying glass is pointed towards Quickly.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna make some moves though. I don't think we can. I don't think we got all the true defense ball players we need to play the style of play we play. I don't think we got enough defense ball players. Because if you look at our roster, on your hand, you can count 4 or 5 defense ball players, maybe 4, 5. And he's the defense coach, and like I said, we just got some guys who just they on the defense end, man. That's just kind of scary. That's just scary.
Hey, Caller, you're live. What's popping, Caller?
What's going on, Sam?
How you feeling, man? I mean, I know you're probably disappointed. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't feel too good either. I'm smiling every once in a while because I got to do it because I'm on the camera, but I'm not feeling good.
I don't understand what's going on with Tibbs, man. His rotations at times is atrocious, man. He takes out RJ with 3 minutes left in the third quarter because he picked up his third foul, but yet the ball was getting hot right at that moment.
Yeah.
He sits him down and he don't bring him back to like 6 minutes in the fourth quarter. Then he got Obi playing with the second unit, and the second unit is full of shooters. So Obi doesn't get a facilitator with him.
Yep.
I don't understand what's going on. I think he gets too much credit in the wins and not enough criticism in the losses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he definitely gets it tonight. You're right. He definitely gets it tonight. You know, I thought that Mitchell Robinson should have been in during the end of the game. Thought he was doing a better job rebounding. We let the Bulls get a few offensive rebounds towards the end of the game. That could have, changed the outlook of the game. And Nerlens Noel wasn't, Mitch was grabbing rebounds. Even offensive rebounds, Mitch was grabbing them and putting them back from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
The Bulls had 5 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. 5 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. That's a lot.
And I don't understand why he starts Peyton, or even, it doesn't matter between starts and finishes, but he has him so long on the floor. When we have Frank, we have Burks. Burks played point guard.
And Peyton played 17 minutes tonight, so, he wasn't out there that long.
No, but I'm saying tonight, though.
I'm just, just looking at. This is kind of a indication that maybe it's changing over. Quickly played 30 minutes. Elfrid Payton played 17 minutes. So, if you're looking at that, it's probably, the tides is changing a little bit, and you see Quickly's there during the end of the game. The Knicks got off to a decent start before they started making substitutions. The game was tied. I think maybe when they started to make substitutions, maybe the Bulls was up 2 or 3. They made some subs, and then the game, went to 11 points. You know what I mean? In the third quarter, the Bulls came out. They extended the lead to about 11. The Knicks tried to chip their way back in. The young guys came in for a little bit. It kind of stayed where it was, I think, and then they made another they took another lead. They made it longer. Then they made another substitution. They kept Quickly in the game. Randle, Barrett, came back in the game, and then the Knicks started to come back. But those tides are probably changing. You know what I'm saying? Elfrid Payton played 17 minutes and 41 seconds. Emmanuel Quickly played 30 minutes and 19 seconds. So, that's probably the way that you want it to be anyway.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I hope the changing of the guards is coming. My last question, Sam, is this. You think if we keep Randle, will it stunt the growth for Obi, and then we botch the draft by keeping Randle and drafting Obi? That's my last question.
Well, so my answer to that is Obi hasn't shown anything to say I need room to grow. He hasn't shown that yet. I think he's got to show. Like, let's say, for example, there was another shooting guard here when RJ came in. right? But RJ was like really putting in production, and you looking at him like, yo, this kid is really putting in production. Pretty soon we're gonna have to get this guy out of here so we can let Obi grow. The same thing, the way you're looking at it with Emmanuel Quickly and Elfrid Payton. People are like, yo, we got to get rid of Payton so that Quickly can do his thing, so he can become that leader. Obi hasn't shown it yet. So I don't think it's stunting his growth. I think Obi's got to show that, he still got to show he's a seed. You know what I mean? He hasn't shown it yet, and it's not all his fault. I don't think it's all his fault. Some of it is, but I don't think all of it's his fault. The style of play does not suit him. You know what I mean? He's a guy that's got to get up and down the floor. The offense got to move a little bit faster, run some screen and rolls, those type of things, you know what I mean, to really get Obi going. So we don't play that style of basketball. It doesn't really suit him. We need a point guard, like you said, that can really play with Obi, and we don't have that right now.
All right, thanks for taking my call.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. What'd you say?
Savvy D in the building.
Savvy D. I see him in the building, man.
How y'all boys doing?
How you been?
How you doing, fellas? It's good to see y'all, man.
Good. Caller, you're live. What's popping? What's going on, caller?
Yo, what's good, Sam? How you doing, bro?
Hey, my man. What's going on? It's been a minute. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm overall I'm good. I'm not good tonight because of the way the Knicks played, but I'm good though.
Yeah, that was a rough one, man. I actually want to talk about Obi for a minute.
All right.
It's really frustrating because he's so athletic, but they're just using him so wrong. They have him as a spot-up corner, three-point shooter, post player, and at this point, he's not really effective at either of those things. Use him in pick and rolls, pick and pops, flash into the hoop. They finally threw him an alley-oop tonight. I think it was Rivers. I could be wrong. But, we got to use him more effectively. And then the other thing is with Randle here playing well, how is he going to get the minutes? Not only this year, but if Randle's here long term, because they're both pretty much fours, unless you go very small, and then you play, Randle at the 5 and Obi at the 4, but then your defense is going to be hurt without Mitch. So how do you even get in serious minutes?
I mean, I think to me, I think he's got to earn the minutes. Yeah, like Tony just said, you got to prove, or whoever just said it.
Yeah.
You got to prove that it's your spot. Like Quickly is coming in, and he's proving that it's his spot. He's like, this is my
spot. He's not getting the minutes to even show it because they're both natural power forwards. So even if he's playing well, where do you play him?
I mean, if he was playing well, he would continuously get minutes at that backup spot. If it wasn't for Randle, then he would get minutes, maybe some at a center position or at a 3 position or whatever. Trust me, Thibodeau would find minutes for him.
I've heard the 3. I wouldn't really play him at the 3. I'd rather go small with Randle and Obi, one of them at the 5, than put him at the 3.
But still, I think that Thibodeau would find a spot for him to play. If he was playing well. Someone said,
why are they using him as like a spot up corner 3-point shooter? That's not his game. Like, it's just not.
I don't know.
I don't know. Obviously he needs the point guard. As much as I love Quickly, this kid's, he's great, but he's not really a natural point guard. He's good at throwing the lobs and whatnot. That's what I would do with him. I know they rarely play together, Quickly and Obi, but I think that'll be good in pick and rolls, slash into the hoop and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then real quick, the real MVP of the night is Devin Booker. He just made the Mavs lose 7 in a row with a 3 with a second left.
Okay. All right.
Well, they lose 7 in a row.
All right.
So
we can take that.
Good, huh?
We can take that.
This could be a huge break, man. I think they're like 4 out, even from the 10th seed, even from the play-in.
Right.
Man, so that's the way that made my night a lot better, man.
All right. Hey, well, it makes my night a little bit better, too. No doubt about that. Hey.
Maybe we're getting some breaks, man. So
maybe. We need some.
We need it, man. Keep losing, Dallas. Let's go, man.
Right. Hey, I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah, but that's it. Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it. Peace.
All right.
Now, someone said, Khalid Pasha said, that's not true, Sim. He wouldn't get more than 18 minutes. You know what? If he got 18 minutes, that'd be more than 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I think that if Obi, too, was doing what he had to do, they'd find room for him. And I think a lot of it is defensively. Khalid Pasha, he said, that's not, no, not Khalid, someone else. Where is he? Someone said Randle didn't play well tonight. You know, basically saying he didn't play well tonight and he's still on the floor. I mean, but Obi didn't do anything to say I need to take his minutes. I believe, you know, right, Randle didn't play well, but he's still producing. He's still scoring the basketball.
Rebounding the ball.
You know, rebounding the basketball. You know, he's still doing things. He still had 7 assists tonight, right?
Yeah.
He had 7 assists. Mm-hmm. Along with his 5 turnovers.
Tom Thibodeau snatched that boy when he was 87, 83.
You know?
Obi made 2 dumb plays on a defense end. Because that back down in the post, he got fouled. That was nice. He got the alley-oop. But Obi got to get his defense mindset together, you know. And I believe in Obi, but you ain't going to play on the tip. You ain't playing no defense. And that's the way it rolls. You know
right. And D-Ray Light said, quickly shine in his short minutes. And what's up, Light? He said, quickly shined in his short minutes. That's why he got extended minutes. Obi needs to be on a team that runs the floor. Oh, that's D Grant. But right, quickly shined in his short minutes, and that's why he got his extended minutes. That's what it's all about. You shine in the minutes that you get, and that's how you increase your minutes. You increase your minutes. Go ahead, Tony.
I was pretty much going to say that, but just to expand, and not to, so we're not discrediting Obi. It's a learning curve for him. Yep. He's a rookie. Remember that. So, and like Sim keeps saying, he's not being utilized to his strengths. I still think there's a plan in making him develop that 3-point shot. I think he's probably showing a lot more in practice that he can make them than in the games per se, and that's why he's doing that. But I also think part of it is Tibbs schemes. Because the same thing that we were saying about Randle applies to Obi, as far as stepping away from his guy too far and then having to run out and chase him on the perimeter. Mm-hmm. And Randle might be a little bit more adept to it, and being a veteran, you know, Obi being a rookie, he's gonna get pulled quicker for making those mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
You
know, a couple good questions coming from the chat. Someone's D Grant said, Obi did not play defense in college, so what makes you think he's gonna do it for the Knicks? You know, I mean, I guess the hope is that Tom Thibodeau and the coaching staff can help to develop his defensive acumen. You know, I think that's question. You know that's the hope. You know what I mean? That they can help him to develop. He's got the physical tools. Church Shane 7 said, Sim, if Rivers can get 15 minutes playing terrible defense, Obi sure as hell should be out there. He has to play with Mitch. Irresponsible for Tibbs not to see that. I mean, the thing is, you know, when you're younger, sometimes you're gonna get a shorter leash. That's the way that things tend to go. Not just in the NBA, but anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yo, Sim, can I just chime in right quick? Like,
yeah, go ahead.
What do people miss about experience? Like, why does that element of experience under one's belt always get tossed out with the bathwater on this point? Oh, why don't you treat this guy like this? He's a veteran, and he knows how to correct himself when he does the wrong things. At least, you know, over the course of his career so far. Probably not with us just yet. But we'll see how that comes into effect. And why isn't this guy, like, what makes you think this guy is going to play defense for us when he didn't play it over there? Well, if you make it necessary, then he'll play or he'll be out.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is not complicated. And there was something that you said earlier, Sim, that touched upon my exact feelings about watching this game tonight. You said, what if the Chicago Bulls just figured out our style of play, figured out our defense, And that's exactly the impression I got watching that game tonight. Pardon me, because like you said, they were killing us on the backdoor cuts, and they were getting the open man at the three, and they were raining those threes down, right? And I was just like, we're getting picked apart in every single which way, you know. And you're right about what Mitch was doing well, but you know, it would still have been a shame to pull Nerlens out of the game, considering the defensive performance that he was having. I felt like he was one of the few putting in a good defensive performance. He had the 5 blocks, and he was active. The only thing that really burns me is his failure to step forward right at the end there against Levine. And speaking of Levine, there was the play where Randle had gone up for the rebound, I think at the same time as Nerlens, and then it went out of bounds. So he turned it over. Like,
that was terrible.
That was
that was terrible. And all
the game sealer right there. There's no change after that.
Yeah, and all it takes is one guy to say, "I got it."
Yeah,
that's it. I got it. I got it.
Communication. I saw that and I was like, "Oh nah." Like we don't even deserve to get this comeback win.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
And that was 3 possessions in a row we failed to take the lead.
Bro, our minds were not wrapped around the game. We were cold, and then RJ came and dunked it, and I thought that was going to turn things around. Emmanuel quickly gave us the lead when it was 88 to 90. It was like 89 to like something. He hit a 3 and gave us a 1 point. I'm like, okay, yeah, right, 88-91. So I'm like, okay, bet. Like we're starting to get somewhere, but we kept just stepping on our own feet. And it did not look good at all, because right after, and almost to juxtapose the difference between the two teams tonight, right after that play happened where they knocked the rebound out of bounds, the Bulls get the ball back. There's like 3 cuts, and then you see Levine come seemingly out of nowhere and get like a foot and a half of space and then pull up for the 2. He missed the shot, but I saw that and I was like, yo, like,
yeah. You heard Clyde. You heard Clyde say something about it too, or he just made it like, oh, you know, because he got wide open for the shot. I mean, just
blink and you would have missed it. It was so fast. I was like, they were faster than us and they were organized.
Yeah, they sure were. Let me get to this caller. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sam? What's up, everybody, NBK fans?
What's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
Frustrated, man. This loss was horrible. Pretty much, I just want to talk about also our defense. Our defense, horrible. I can't even talk for real, Sam. Like, I've been watching this show now for a year, man. Like, I'm your biggest fan, I swear. And the defense is horrible. I also want to talk about people killing Obi. We have to give him a chance. We have to get a point guard in there for him. He's not the type of player to create his own shot, so we have to get a point guard. And that was it, Sam, man. Shout out to y'all, NBK.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah. We got to get a guard playing with him. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it. We got to get a guard playing with him. I think it's more than that, though. He's got to show a little bit more, you know, what he can do on the defensive side of the ball. And I know people, you know, because he's a, you know, you got some veterans that maybe don't play defense as well. They've proven some things, you know. But I still do, you know, look at Tibbs with this game. I know the players, they let the guys go back door. The players had the bad rotations and all of that. But I feel like there were some things that Tibbs could have done better.
A quick comment about Obi Toppin. I feel like the story and the results we got on the Obi Toppin would be totally different right now if we had a healthy and active Frank Ntilikina on the roster right now. It's such a shame what's happening to that guy. Because he every time it seemed like he's coming into his own, he's finding his game, something happened to set him back. And it's such a shame because I feel like he could have really done a lot to unlock Obi's game. I feel like their games complement each other real well. And when Thibodeau said that he didn't really have a role for Frank, I was like, well, injury is one aspect, but I feel like the perfect role for Frank is to be the Obi activator. Quite frankly, that's how I feel, no pun intended, but that's that on that. We just know that Obi needs to get in the rotation with somebody who could facilitate him well and really get his game going. That's why I feel like that Alfred Payton switch to the bench for quickly starting would probably be the right move, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I don't know if anything is gonna. I don't know. I mean, tonight was a winnable game if we could have played some defense. Now we got to play them again tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And I just want to get from you guys after I get to this call about some adjustments that we want to make for Wednesday. And I do want to remind everybody to make sure that you follow or download my app, the NBK app on Wix. And once we get 1,000 followers on there, 1,000 people who downloaded it, we're gonna do a Obi Toppin giveaway card, a rookie card giveaway. All right, we're gonna give away 2 of them. So make sure that you go get the app. All right, I'm gonna put it in the YouTube chat and pin it to the top of the chat so you can go get the app. Caller, you live. What's popping?
What's happening, big brother? It's Big Wayne from the Bronx, man. What's going on?
What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm a little down though, still, man. You know what? I think I'm in the minority, man. Randle got to go, man. I watched the body language of him and the team is not there. He the oldest player. He's the vet. He doesn't uplift the rest of the team. He doesn't, he's not doing what he needs to do. And I think Obi would be really useful in that time. I think we need to get rid of him right now while while he's worth a lot as far as a trade. You know what I mean? Because I just don't see it. He's putting up stats, and the empty stats, we losing. You know what I mean?
I mean, see, I disagree that they're empty stats. First of all, the whole empty stat thing, I get why people say that. I have a different opinion about it. But, I mean, we're not above 500. But last year at this time, we were what? We had won 4 games. Right. We've been on a couple of win streaks. I mean, we've won. We're 9 and what are we? 9 and 13 now.
13. Yeah, 9 and 13. Huh?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if his stats are empty stats because his stats have helped to produce some wins this season.
But it's not just him. It's RJ too, and it's definitely quickly, and it's the continuity with the team too, because now most of the players been together for another year, so that's helping us get some wins, and obviously the coach. That's first and foremost.
That's why you don't.
But for me, I think dude has to go, man. I just watch his body language. Do me a favor. The next couple of games, watch him, how he interacts with RJ, how he interacts with the rest of the team. You don't see him pull him to the side, talk to them, say, listen. All he does is complain that he don't get fouls. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he does complain a lot. He does complain a lot, and I think he needs to chill out with that. You know what I'm saying? But we also, the one thing we got to understand is he's still learning and growing and understanding how to be a leader too. He's never had to be a leader before last year. So that's part of his development. Like all of our whole team, besides like Taj and, besides Taj and maybe Alec Burks, everybody is still in development. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I hear what you're saying. I definitely agree. I think he's got to learn how to, direct his energy and emotions in a more positive manner, especially if you're going to be looked at as the leader on the team. I get you. I'm with you 100%.
Exactly. Watch that body language. So I appreciate you picking up, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother. Be safe out there, man. Be safe, man.
All right.
Peace. Go ahead, Tone.
No, I wanted to ask the caller because he made the point of, us playing better together because they had a year together. A full year together, and that's a reason to keep Randle. Like he's building that chemistry with these guys. His body language has been an issue, and I've seen him yell at players, particularly Knox, most of the time. And I don't think that's a good look. But I've also seen him dap a guy up when he missed a pass or turned the ball over. So I've seen him do both. And like you said, he's still learning. Like, look at the progression he made from last year when everybody wanted to get him off the team to this year where now people are finally giving him his just due. And again, he's still learning. Let these guys grow together. You can't you trade him and bring a new guy in. Now it's going to take another year of development at the very least. And even if the production is the same, we want to keep Randle with his production and add production. You don't want to take production out and bring production in. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can't just get rid of him.
Yeah. Big shout out to Ghost Rider. He said, salute Sim. Like the brother on the panel the other night said, we lose the winnable games. We do. We lose. I mean, it's been a few games that were right there for us, and we lost them. You know what I'm saying? Devon, call. Yeah, I got a caller, right? Yeah, caller, you live. What's popping?
Yo, what's going on, Sam?
What's going on, man?
Nah, man. Yo, shout out to everybody.
Hey,
I want to say this real quick.
Hey, City, can I just 1 second? And maybe these aren't the same people, right? So maybe the people that don't like a player come out when that player plays bad. Right, and I'm not saying that the last caller was saying that he don't like Randle. So, caller, I'm not saying that about you. All right, I'm just looking in the chat and I see people saying all this, right? And it's like someone said, "Oh, Randle was just doodle." Like a couple games ago, everybody and their mother is heaping the kids praises. Right? Everybody, yo, Randle, he should be an all-star. He gotta be an all-star. If he's not an all-star, this, that, and the third. Now, all of a sudden, he's garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a bad game. He didn't play well today. You know what I mean? He had a bad game. For the most part, he has not had a bad game. Right? He had some games where he had high turnovers. But for the most part, he's been playing really well this season. They have a bad game. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's like, we got to get him out of here. He sucks, this and that. That's crazy to me, man. But
most consistent player. Yeah, and on a team, and they want to lose that.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy to me. I mean, the guy is averaging 7 assists. That's not because he doesn't fit. That's because the offense is being run through him, and he's helping other guys to get better, in my opinion. I mean, he's helping other guys to get open shots. He's going to play bad sometimes. Go ahead, City.
The one thing that we missing is this, right? Our team, we go as our bench go. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there is no reason why our bench should almost outscore our starters. If you look at it tonight, that's pretty much what it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our main problem is efficiency. We had times in the game, late in the game, where, you know what I'm saying, where we could have came back and we did come back and take the lead, but we had times where we could have sustained that and we didn't. And guys botch plays or whatever. But for anybody calling about Tibbs, talking about his defensive rotation, knock it off, man. Knock it off. Because when you look at it, right, what happened today? Nerlens Noel was in the game. Why? Because at that point of the game, the team was playing good and we were coming back and we were digging back into the game. Same thing happened last game when we played the Clippers when Tibbs left RJ on the bench, right, for a long time. Everybody said, why leave him on the bench for a long time? Do you know why? Because at that point in time of the game, we were playing good and we were doing good and we were coming back. You don't want to break that momentum by putting a guy in that's been sitting because other guys have been playing well. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. For anybody saying that, oh, he's playing this guy over this guy and not playing this guy over that game, no, look at the flow of the game. Does he leave guys in sometimes for too long? Yes, that might be a knock. But at the end of the day, he doing what he's supposed to do. He riding with the guys that are gelling, that are playing well together during that spurt of time. Basketball is a game of runs. Everybody know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, therefore, during the times where we going through these runs, yes, sometimes our best players are on the bench. Why? Because the team is playing good. Why are you going to break the momentum and call a timeout and put other guys in the game that's just been sitting? And then you disrupt the flow of the game.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, the same thing can be said for defensively wise, but at the end of the day, if you're staying competitive and you're in the game, you don't want to break that. You don't want to mess that up.
Yeah. I feel you. I get it. I still feel like Tibbs could have did a better job with some things today. I felt like Mitchell should have been in at the end of the game. I thought he was doing a much better job rebounding, doing a better job playing defense. I thought he should have been in at the end of the game. Obviously, I think that we need to make some adjustments on the defensive side. But I do want to get into what we need to do for Wednesday's game against the Bulls. But I do want to, just one last thing about this whole, Randle thing. Someone said Randle's in the way of the young guys. Mitchell Robinson is playing.
Oh, geez.
He's doing well. R.J. Barrett's doing well. Emmanuel Quickly is obviously doing well. There's only one guy that you're talking about, and that's Obi. And Obi hasn't proved that he needs to take anybody's minutes. So I'll leave it there. What do we got to do?
Yeah, Tim, but
go ahead.
Oh man, the main thing that we got to do, again, I bring it down to efficiency, man. Look at how we shot from the 3-point line tonight.
Right.
Terrible, horrible.
Mm-hmm.
That just goes back to efficiency. Like, if we play efficient and we do the things that we need to do, we in the game. But at the end of the day, we shot horrible from the 3-point line. That's really what determined the game. Go look at what we shot.
We shot 20%. We shot 20% from the 3-point line tonight. 20%.
Give or take. Let's just say this. If we even shot 40% from the 3-point line, it's a different game. But efficiency is the key. I'm going to keep saying that. Efficiency is the key. And again, I'm going to say it again. There's no reason why our bench should be almost outplaying our starters.
Oh, I hear you.
Again, you want your second unit. You want your second unit to always pick up the slack, but not like that. A big reason is you got two of your best scorers in the second unit. You know what I mean? And it's because that's how the rotations fit. So you got two of your best scorers there. So most nights your bench is gonna compete with your first unit for who scores the most. Because you got Quickly and you got Burks in there, and then you got Randle, you got RJ in the first unit. So those guys are gonna kind of compete with each other. Peyton's not going to give you much. Bullock's is here or there. And then Mitchell Robinson, That's why I said it's efficiency, man. Bullock shot, 1 for 7 or something like that from 3?
Yeah, he didn't shoot well. But hey,
but I know
City,
you got other calls to take.
Yeah.
I'm getting up out of here. I'm going to jump back down. I'm going to finish watching and stuff like that. Everybody stay up. And let's get this W next game.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
Come in the chat one time.
So, Divine, I'm going to start with you, man. What do we got to do to get this win on Wednesday? Because I think we need it, man. We need to get this win. We're 4 games below 500 now. We're obviously fighting, battling with the Bulls to be one of the top 10 teams, right? So, with that loss, we dropped down to being 10th. Tied for the Toronto Raptors. The only reason why we're above the Toronto Raptors is because we have more wins than them. We're 9-13. They're 8-12. If we had the same record, they would be above us because they beat us, right? This next game against them could be important. If we want to try to stay in that running, it could be important because now there's starting to become a lot of separation between us and the Charlotte Hornets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs are 10-11. The Hornets are 10-11. Now we're dropped down to 9-13. That's a little bit of separation there. You know what I mean? So I think this game is important We need to get this. What do we got to do to get it?
I think we got to just get back to our decent principles, man. And we got to bring our A game Wednesday, man. We need this win and always. I'm not saying the season over, but I'm saying this is a pivotal win. But I think we got to get back to our defensive principles. RJ got to have a better game tonight, and I think it's our defense, man. I'm not even going to throw no stones at nobody, but for tonight's game, we need Randle and RJ to come through for us to win them, because they're my leaders. They're my two best players, and we got to have that two best player game. And all the Randle hate kill out of noise. Anybody can have a bad game. That's why I said I just said Randle had a bad game on the defense tonight. You know what I mean? And that happens, but I just think we got to come out with our defense. Hopefully it wasn't sim like y'all said. It wasn't that playing yesterday, traveling and playing today. I'm not making that excuse. I'm going to hope that wasn't the reason that we'll see Wednesday, because it could have played a part. I don't know. But I think we got to come hard on the defense then, man, and everything else will take care of itself, I think.
Yeah. Tony?
I think the adjustments should be pretty easy. Even though, I made the comments earlier about them maybe figuring out our defense. As far as us defending them, I feel like our adjustments should be pretty easy. Randle, do what you did in the fourth quarter, man. Stop leaving marketing. You can't do that. He's a shooter. We gotta hit our threes. I agree with City for real. We gotta hit our threes. We shot under 20%, right?
Yeah, well, 20% from three, 20%.
Oh, 20, all right. Well, a lot of the game, I know it was under 20%. So we gotta push that up, man. We gotta get closer to 40% on threes. 35%, is efficient. I think those two things really will be all right. I am afraid of the Prince's guy actually having a more dominant game, because like we agreed on earlier, I don't think he killed us tonight. You know what I mean? He hit some big shots down the stretch. We missed some big shots down the stretch. RJ missed two wide open threes. He makes those, total different ball game. But hopefully we can contain Levine. I'll be satisfied with the same output from him next game, as long as we're producing.
Yeah. Prince?
I don't know, Sim. Honestly, we got the ball out of Levine's hands. We kept him to a pretty mediocre scoring night. But their supporting cast stepped up. And the thing that scares me is Patrick Willis didn't have a good game. So I don't know if we can really keep talking about that. I guess tomorrow in the shoot-around, I'll probably have a better synopsis of the way to beat them. But I think the bigger things is, just the scrappy stuff. Get back to get back to making sure we win those 50-50 balls. Quickly did help, but again, getting some continuity in that second unit. Not having those defensive blunders, a lot like you said, not beating ourselves, Sim. You hit it, and I think that was the thing you had spoke to the defense, but bigger than anything, I think that's what it seemed like you were saying to me, or I picked up on. It was just the fact that we beat ourselves defensively, because again, there was a lot of times that we could have made stops, or we could have got ourselves out of a lot of those situations when we were close, where we were down one, down two, when we were up one, just figuring a way to get stops and string stops along rather than giving up big threes and big plays like we did. So, like Divine said, just get back to our brand of basketball, knocking down shots, being confident and playing as a unit. Like I said, I haven't seen us play with that tenacity from that first 5-7 games in a long time. Like, we haven't played like that in a while. So just getting back to that brand of basketball.
Yeah. And I just want to say something real quick. People keep talking about the first unit, right? So it's tonight, at 5 minutes and 35 seconds, the Knicks were up. 5 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first quarter. The Knicks were up 16-14. All right, Markkanen gets a dunk. It's 16-16. All right, the game's still 16-16. The subs start to come in at 4 minutes and 46 seconds. Burks comes in for Bullock. Right, Now it's 18. It becomes 18-16 Bulls. Right? And then it becomes 20-16 Bulls. Quickly comes in for Peyton. Rivers comes in for Barrett. Now it's 22-16 Bulls. Then it becomes 22-18 Bulls. Then all of a sudden it's 28-18 Bulls. All right. We were tied at 16, and I'm not blaming the subs. It's just people keep saying we're getting off to bad starts, and it's just not always the truth, right? You know, I mean, you can go look at it for yourself. You know, the game was tied 16-16 before we had any substitutions come into the game. Right now in the second half, our subs helped to dig us out. Well, quickly, and the other starters helped to dig us out. Right. And then Burks in the fourth quarter, he helped to keep us in the game, you know, and, you know, so, you know, someone said, as long as I seen someone in the chat say, as long as such and such and such and such is starting, you know, it's going to be these bad starts, but it really wasn't. You know what I mean? It had more to do with our team defense, you know, from the starters to the bench. Our team defense was just terrible. And then in the fourth quarter, they had a guy that scored 10 points. Burks did score 9 points in the fourth quarter. But, you know, we couldn't get it done. Then we turned the ball over. Go ahead, Tone.
I just think we need more consistency from these other than these four players. We're getting the most consistency probably from Randle. RJ is probably second, even though he's been through some shooting slumps and everything else. He's probably still our second best consistent player.
Yeah.
Then I would say quickly. Then I would say Burks, and Burks has been having a shooting slump as of late, but you know, started off hot, still giving us good numbers. We need more from the rest of the guys. We need like two more guys to be consistent in what they're giving us. You know, we had those 3 games from Rivers, but other than that, he's been atrocious. We had Knox early on in stretches. At the very least, we knew we were getting 2 threes a game from him at the very least. And then he's been on a bad stretch. Mitch, and I love Mitch, man. He's one of my favorites. I don't want him gone. We need more from him. Whether it's staying out of foul trouble, which for the most part he has done. But I'm starting to worry a little bit. When I wasn't the guy early. You kept saying, "Oh, we need more from him." You know, more than 10 points, 8 rebounds, or I just think we need more from Mitch, man. We need like 14 from him, 14 and 10. I'll be satisfied. But yeah, outside of those 4 guys, man, if we could get 2 more guys to just consistently give us numbers that we know we're gonna get, I think we'll be all right.
Right, and that we know we can depend on. That's the thing. We don't have anybody else that we can depend on. We're gonna get a solid 10 and 10 or 10 points, 5 assists from this guy. We don't have it. We don't have it there. You know what I mean? You know, for tomorrow, I think we've got to, for Wednesday, right, I think we really got to adjust our defensive approach and how we guard, you know, the pick and pop, because if not, then Lauri Markkanen will kill us again. So we've got to adjust that. I think this time, you know, for once, I know it's hard. You know, Peyton tries to fight over the screen. He doesn't always get over the screen. You got to help out. Let's see if we can find somebody else to help out. You know, or just force, if Peyton can't get over the screen, get somebody in the game that can get over the screen. You know what I mean? If you have to, you know, he knows the screen is coming. Try to jump it before the screen gets there. Something so that we don't have to deal with that pick and pop. I already know that Tom Thibodeau's not going to go zone. Right? So I'm not even going to bring that up because he's not going to do it. And then, you know, we've got to work on the backdoor cuts. Right? That's got to be something that we really work on. If we have a 3-hour shoot around tomorrow really work on those backdoor cuts because we got killed by the backdoor cut tonight over and over and over again. Also, with Randle, you see he got bottled up a few times tonight. Why? Because they send a double team from the backside. He's posting up. They send a double team coming from behind the basket, right? And so if he spins towards the basket,
right into the double team.
Spins right into the double team. And guess what? He can't even see that coming. And then if he goes forward, if he continues to go into the paint, the double team comes around and then double teams, and he gets caught up, right? He's got to understand that that's where the double team is coming from, right? Hopefully they look at the tape and he sees, okay, that's where the double is coming from, and he can now, he gets the ball and he understands that's where the double is coming from. He can look for that player, and he can watch that player. He's got to learn how to recognize. He still doesn't always recognize the double teams, and that's when he gets into trouble spinning and turning the ball over, and he gets trapped, turns the ball over. We also got to have guys relocating faster. You know what I'm saying? I know you got guys on the opposite side of the floor waiting to get that pass, but you got to have guys that relocate to in his view so that he can get it out to him quicker. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
He needs to make quicker decisions.
He's got to,
especially in the post. Outside the post, when he's making that decision making, I think he's excellent. But in that post, quick moves, man. If Woodson could talk to him like whatever he said to Melo that one year when he just started making quick moves.
Yep.
I think that'll be the next learning curve for Randle.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, Tom. Sorry, Sandro.
Yeah, because when he has the ball in that post, and this is the thing. I mean, you're right. He has to make quicker decisions. The thing is, when he has the ball in the post, he's not even always looking to score. He's looking to find who's open, but it's got to happen quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's looking to see who can I get the ball to for an open 3-point shot or open this or open that or somebody cutting. Right? You can watch it. The game against the Clippers, I watched him several times. Have the ball in the post. He's not even looking towards the rim. He's looking around the perimeter to see who's open. But it takes a long time.
It's that adjustment.
It takes a long time. You got to make it quicker. If you don't see it right away, let's get it out and get something else going. You know what I mean?
Or make your move to the basket.
Or make your move to the basket, right? Because then you give time for that double team to come. Like I'm watching the double team and I'm screaming, yo, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because they're literally just sneaking along the baseline, sneaking. He's got the ball in his hands, holding it, looking for whatever he's going to do. And the next thing you know, bam, they're on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hopefully they look at that film and they can see that. Go ahead, Savvy.
I was going to say, man, the whole nucleus of my adjustment strategy is speed, and not necessarily even just being faster, being quicker, making quicker decisions. I want a dribbling time limit on that shit. Pardon my French. The thing that we do is we like to slow down the offense, and that's good and everything. You know what I'm saying? We can let guys get set. We can get into our plays, but when a team has you figured out, step one is to do something different. Okay? Like you can get better at what you already do. All right? The smartest thing to do when you figure out the other team Xerox your playbook, throw out the playbook. Change it up. We slow the offense down, speed it up next time. Dribble time limit. I don't want to see more than 3-4 seconds of the shot clock gone before that the rock is changing hands. Mm-hmm. And that's on the person that brings the ball up the court. If you're just a swing man, that ball better be out your hands the moment it gets into it. Because I want to see at least 2 or 3 passes done before we even try to attempt to score, unless we find somebody open. Because quite frankly, we need to have some discombobulation out there for the other team, not just for us.
Right.
We need to get them to cross their wires and then scramble to adjust for us. So that way, by the time their game planning for what we're doing next, we can switch back on them, okay, and then get back to something that we do more regularly, more normal, right? And then by virtue of having this flip-flopping approach to the game, we'll see some guys who don't do well in the current system probably start to emerge and let talent take over, okay? And then the guys who are doing well in this system can get some versatility, right? And then when they're scrambling to adjust, we can switch them back over to the program that we already have, and then they'll be comfortable again. And then maybe that can help us through some of these slumps that we get in, like in the fourth quarter when we couldn't score for 4 straight possessions.
Yeah, we'll
Not
see,
only
man.
that, sorry, one note on defense. We need to clog these passing lanes because we got some steals tonight off of the passing lane. And I was like, that's going to be where we could force some turnovers more often and then create some opportunities for us.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no doubt. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, how you doing? Yes, Savvy, I agree with all that. I'm new to the Knicks community. This is actually my first year following the Knicks. I'm a big listener.
Welcome.
But as far as adjustments, I think we need to focus more on the bigs. Between Robinson and Noel, we're getting a consistent defense from them. We're undermining their blocks. I think they're coming every day to play defensively. Offensively, you got to feed those guys. You got to get in the paint. You might have to start quickly just for this. Traditionally, you don't go to the rookies to feed off them, but he gets in the paint and he finds ways to throw lobs. He finds those guys when they're in their launching pads, when they're ready to jump and dunk. Let's use their athleticism for something other than just blocks. Thibodeau sees something in Nerlens. He plays him a lot. He tries to mix him up. The casual fan is not going to understand that. I just want to listen, guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. Tibbs definitely went to Nerlens tonight. Maybe because he's blocking shots, but there's other miscues that irk me sometimes with Nerlens, and then the fact that he don't catch the basketball be making me mad. You making me mad, and it probably was a bad pass. RJ had a little wraparound or whatever bounce pass to him. Clyde said it was low. I was like, nah, he just didn't catch that joint. But I didn't get a chance to look at the replay. It might have been low, but I felt like Nerlens just didn't catch it because that man got bricks on his hands, man.
It was.
And shout out to the caller though. Shout out to that caller though, because I think I said this a couple streams ago. We got to start rewarding our big men, man.
Yeah,
we got to start rewarding them. These guys are playing hard on defense. Yep. They're running the floor. I love that lead pass Julius gave to Noel. Running the floor, he caught that one.
He caught that one. If he didn't catch that one, my TV was coming off the wall.
I was nervous. I ain't even gonna lie. But there was nobody around him, so he didn't get nervous in that. But yeah, we gotta start rewarding them because they definitely playing hard out there. And I hate to say it, it falls back to that point guard position. And this is not a knock on Peyton or his play, but that's one thing at the very least he's got to do as well. Be that point guard. That's something a point guard will do. Say, man, you working hard out here. You got that block. You got that stop here. This is
I'm
your
gonna get
play.
you. I got you. Right, exactly. And we don't do that. We don't do that at all. The only person we call plays for, we don't even call plays for RJ. Well, maybe a little bit, but most of the time we call plays for Randle. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really call anything for RJ. We do run the pick and roll to Mitch. Peyton doesn't do it as much, or when he does do it, he usually doesn't throw the oop. If he tries to get in, he tries to wrap it around, or he shoots a little runner in the lane or something like that. He hardly ever throws a oop to Mitch.
I think he started the game with it today, but
I think he did.
Very, very rare.
Yeah, I think he did, but he doesn't get that oop as much.
Off the court, this is a different matter. Off the court, I think tomorrow headline. I don't know if y'all acknowledge this at the end of the game when the Knicks was going into the locker. Did you see Mitch sitting there by himself? Yeah, I didn't see that. Did you?
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see
turned
it.
the game off with a
Yeah, what happened was, once the game was over, all the team was going back to the locker room. Mitch sat in that chair by himself. He looked like he was just disgruntled. And I think also, I wonder if Alfred Payton going to start feeling some type of way now that Quickly's getting all the minutes. So I think these are off court things that we might got to look back, because I think it's going to be I think tomorrow you're going to see that in the paper section or whatever. Yeah.
I don't think Peyton will, because Peyton's used to it. Peyton's been coming off the bench. He's been a starter. He's come off the bench. He's had people play over him. I don't think Peyton will. But Mitch might. He might be starting to feel some kind of way. And I believe he was probably sitting there because he didn't play in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. Yep. And then go off with the team. They all went off. He said they're by himself. While he was walking out like, whoa, this don't look good.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But listen, in my opinion, this is just me. I do feel like he should have been out there on the floor in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Mitch to come back in. I was like, yo, where's Mitch? In 20 minutes, Mitchell Robinson was 9 points, 8 rebounds in 20 minutes. He had one block shot, okay? And I know Nerlens Noel had 5 block shots, but it wasn't the fact that Mitchell Robinson couldn't block shots that wasn't the reason that they were getting dunks. The reason that they were getting dunks is because of backdoor cuts. You know what I'm saying? Not because Mitchell Robinson wasn't blocking shots. In 20 minutes, he had just as many points and just as many rebounds, more rebounds than Nerlens Noel. And Nerlens Noel had 27 minutes. I felt that Mitch was playing a good basketball game. And I thought he should have been back in the floor, about 6 minutes to go in that fourth quarter. I thought he should have been back out there because he had just a bigger body. Yep.
And I do blame Tibbs. And maybe he's trying to use it as a motivational tactic, but this is also where you got to know your players. You know what I mean? Like, and not saying Mitch is in the right, but he's immature.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to know your players to know how to approach them. Maybe say something to him. Why he didn't come back in, or explain why you going with Noel. But I agree. I think it's on Tibbs, and again, I blame this particular loss on Tibbs. I haven't blamed Tibbs all year. There's a lot of people that have been calling Tibbs, blaming him for a lot of these losses. This is the first one I'm gonna agree with these guys. So,
yeah, I agree with it too, man. I feel like I definitely agree with it. I'm a little upset at this loss tonight.
And my man didn't have a good game either. And believe it or not, Levine didn't have a good. What happens Wednesday if he come out and he have a good game? It can even be
worse. 40, Patrick Williams is scoring, and we in trouble.
I mean, he had a good game. He just didn't score early. He had 21 points. He shot 50% from the field, 50% from the 3-point line. So
right.
It was just.
Yeah, but I guess marketing was running them up. Yeah,
I want to hear from Tom Thibodeau, though. So let's take a quick listen to what Tom Thibodeau had to say about tonight's game. This is Tom.
Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for bearing with us there. I guess today you were talking about build around defense, and it looked like a lot of open dunks, a lot of open threes. Did you see communication, lack of effort, or what did you see?
Yeah, no, well, that's the challenge. The challenge is to play with great effort for an extended amount of time. So the initial effort is there, but if one guy is slow reacting and we're not reading the ball properly, it's going to lead to, a mistake. And we're not going to be perfect, but if we're hustling and we have good ball pressure, we have great weak side awareness, we can cover up for any mistakes that we might make. But you want to be consistent with your effort. An offensive team like this, you have to make sure you're challenging shots. And I thought, for the most part, we did a pretty good job on Levine until the end. And he's a tough cover. Marketing got going early on us. I thought we did a better job in the second half. But you need a consistent effort for 48 minutes, particularly on the road, to come up with wins. And, right now we're not there.
Mark Berman, New York Post. Yeah, along those lines on the defensive breakdowns, it looked like you were particularly hot after that uncontested dunk by Gafford. You called timeout. It looked like you were really hot at the players. What set you off on that one?
Just not the effort that we're, capable of. I know that we have the makings of a very good defensive team. And, it's when we're concentrating and we're giving maximum effort, we're usually pretty good. So, just using a timeout, trying to fix it.
Ian Begley, SNY.
Tom, you had Nerlens out there, I think, closing and for much of the game. Was Mitchell hurt, or was that just?
No, he was fine. And again, like, we were playing from behind, and that group was going pretty good. And we hit a point where I just wanted to ride it out with them. I thought they would give us our best chance to win in that situation. But Mitchell's playing really well for us, so it really didn't have anything to do with Mitchell. It had to do with the guys that were out there. I thought Nerlens was protecting the rim pretty well. The shot blocking was a big factor.
We have time for 2 more questions. Mike Vorkunov, The Athletic.
On that Levine 3 with about 25 seconds left, what do you think kind of went wrong for the defense there, and what were you trying to get the bigs to do on those screens?
Well, the issue is, like with Levine in a pick and roll, or in some cases it was marketing, it's going to make you react because you have to have 2 on the ball, particularly late, like with Zach. We saw it at the end when we had the breakdown and we left him open. He's a great shooter, a phenomenal shooter. It's, he's a 50, 40, 90 guy. So, we wanted to put pressure on them. They hit the seam, and that's where, you have to make sure you're moving on the flight of the ball. And as the ball is being picked up, that's when you have to start your recovery. So reading the ball is critical. And, I think we're capable of doing it better. And, you got to scramble and fly around, and, you got to get to that shooter at that point in the game. I thought we did a lot of good things to put ourselves in that position. So, I want to take a look at what we were doing well, and then, take a look at where, we fell short and try to fix that. And for the most part, that's what this team has been very good at, coming back the next day and taking a hard look at things and taking the necessary steps to improve.
Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey, Tom, what do you want to see out of Obi to get more consistent minutes?
Yeah, and he's been playing pretty well. And tonight, the start of the fourth, the rebounding was an issue. And so just all around play. But I like the things that he's doing. He's playing with good energy. And I'd say probably that's the biggest part is him learning the NBA, the defense, and being a multiple effort guy. You have to do more than one thing. It's, you may get the initial part, but there's the second, third, and fourth part that has to be done also. So we're asking him to do a lot. He's picking it up. He's getting better. I like his approach. He's got to keep working.
Thank you, Coach. Hi, everyone.
All right. So I think you got your answer about Obi. Of course, he put it in a nice way. You know what I'm saying? But basically, he wants to see more on the defensive side. And then those rotations, he talked about the rotation. We were talking about it earlier. You help out, the ball gets kicked back out. You should already be on your way, rotating back out to your man. And we get late. We get stuck. We get caught in that paint, watching what's happening instead of rotating. But
yeah, that quickly play at the end was the prime example. Like I said earlier, he was way too far into the paint, way too deep, and he had ample time because there was a pass made before the pass to the point guard.
Exactly.
So he should have been there already. Once that first pass was made, he should have been halfway to the next guy. It's different from the RJ play where he was stuck defending two guys. You know what I mean? Like a play like that with RJ where he's running to the first outlet and to the second. I'm not mad at RJ. That's a tough. You know what I mean? That's a tough play, and you making both assignments. You know what I mean? But in this case with Quickly, he was just way too late down the stretch.
Yeah. So, well, look, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we will be doing the shoot around tomorrow at 12:30. All right, and we'll break down some of the things that we talked about here. We're gonna break that down tomorrow. And give you a visual of it so you can understand what we're talking about. And we'll talk about have teams figured out what the Knicks do and on the defensive side, and can the Knicks continue to play this level of defense? And we'll also talk about Mitchell Robinson. We'll do some investigating, try to find out about Mitch. You know what I mean? And the last thing I want to say is remember to go get the NBK app on Wix. It's pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. Once we get up to 1,000 followers on that app, every follower is going to be entered into a pool to get one of 2 Obi Toppin rookie cards. But we need Obi to start playing to make that card be valuable. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Obi Toppin rookie card.
I still want the card. I don't get if he wind up in China next year. I still want the card.
I hear you. No doubt.
One quick cosign for the app, man. I always miss. Well, not even miss. I unsubscribe, resubscribe. I turn off the notifications, turn them back on. I never get them from YouTube. It might be my push notification settings. I never miss an update from the Wix app. That app is fire. Yep. I'm trying to make one for myself so I could get my business popping, but I'm not as popular as Simeon is. So, it's going to take some time, but y'all get on that app because we need that.
Yeah, the app sends you a notification. Boom. As soon as I put something in there to say live at such and such time, bam, it's to your phone just like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it works really well. Go ahead and get that Wix app. We got forums in there. One other thing. Once you get the app, you got to post something. Post something in the forum. Start a conversation. Post something in the forum and start a conversation. All right? Fellas, I appreciate your time. I will see you tomorrow morning or tomorrow about 12:30. All right? Join us tomorrow at 12:30. Shout out to everybody for being on the line with us, staying up, sitting through that atrocious game that we saw tonight, and let's hope that it's going to get better. You know what I mean? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, spread love, man. Spread that love. Be careful out there too, because it's snowing. We don't want you guys. We don't need nobody getting hurt. And everybody be safe, man.